Hey YouTube, what's up? Densharp Productions here with a quick update on the budget Gravekeeper deck. I know I haven't made that many videos lately. It's because I'm getting ready for my high school graduation. I'm doing a lot of last minute homework to actually make sure that I graduate. So after June 12th, I'll be out of high school officially after graduation, everything like that, and I'll be able to make more videos. So a quick note on the deck, it is not a duality Gravekeeper deck, so all you neck deckers and stuff like that are going to say, oh, well, you don't run pod duality, you don't run Solemn Warning, this isn't right, you shouldn't be running this deck, you suck, you suck. Screw off. So, if you're a net decker and you're going to act like that, just don't even watch the video. 3 spies. This is a Gravekeeper deck, and spies in Gravekeepers are an engine in their own. They are amazing. They're blockers for 2 grand defense, 4-star. When they're flipped face up, you special summon a Gravekeeper from your deck with 1500 attack or less. 3 Commandants. If you're running Necrovalley, no reason not to run 3 Commandants. You can discard Commandant from your hand, search Necrovalley from your deck, and even if you already have a Necrovalley on the field or you've gone through all your Necrovalleys, you can summon it. It's a blocker, it's a beater. So, Commandant's great. 3 Recruiters. This is piece number 1 of the OTK deck. Yes, I made this deck into an OTK deck, and I'll show you the combo in just a bit. Recruiter, when he's sent from the field to the graveyard for any reason, you can add a Gravekeeper from your deck to your hand with 1500 defense or less. Put that over there. 2 Spear Soldiers. This is kind of an aggro engine. It's got piercing and it's a 1500 attacker. And with Necrovalley it becomes a 2 grand, so yeah. 2 Descendants. You can tribute another Gravekeeper besides Descendant to destroy a card on your opponent's side of the field. Now the part that I like about this over Mizuho, which I run, because I run 6 Samurai, my friend Greg is running this deck, is that this is not once per turn. So I like that. And also this is another part of the combo. Or if you don't have a Descendant, you can use the Cannonholder, which you can tribute another Gravekeeper you control to inflict 700. 3 Chiefs. This is piece number 3 of the combo. As long as it remains face up on the field, your graveyard is not affected by the effects of Necrovalley. You can only control 1 chief at a time. And when he's tribute summoned, what you do is you can special summon a Gravekeeper from your graveyard. And I run 1 Dark Armed. Because this deck runs 3 Chiefs, and Chief is the main part, and you always want it on the field whenever you can, Dark Armed is great because like I said, your graveyard is unaffected, which means you can use Dark Arm's effect. Plus, this deck does lack a beater since I don't run Visionary. So, again, Dark Arm is great. Onto the spells. 2 MSTs, 1 Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Allure, 1 Trunade. Those are all staples for this deck. 3 Necrovalleys. This card screws over a lot of decks. What it does is, as long as it's face up on the field, first off, all your Gravekeepers gain a double bonus of 500, which means they gain 500 attack and 500 defense. And both players cannot target cards in their graveyard from the outside, which means Dark Soul still works because it's targeting itself after it's in the graveyard. Monster Reborn will not work because it's targeting a monster in the graveyard from the outside. And also, cards in the graveyard cannot be removed. 2 Royal Tributes. I have seen a lot of duels won because of this card. It can be so advantageous, not to mention the fact that you even get to see your opponent's hand. You know what they have after you activate it. If you control Necrovalley, you can activate this card to reveal both players' hands, and any monsters are sent to the graveyard. Which means that all your opponent's monsters that they're planning on using are now out of their reach, because obviously you need Necrovalley on the field to even activate this card. 3 Steals. You do not need Chief to activate this. It says in the text that it is unaffected by the effects of Necrovalley. And what it does is you take 2 Gravekeepers from your graveyard, add them to your hand. 3 Gold Sarcos. This card searches for piece number 4. It can put pressure on your opponent by you searching out Dad. It can get you any of the other pieces, but mainly it's used for piece number 4. Onto the traps, 1 warning, 1 mirror force. Again, this is budget, so I don't really have the money for 2 more solemn warnings. And piece number 4 is 3 ultimate offerings. Now, I know what you're thinking, hey, why are you running ultimate offering? Well, allow me to show you right now. Alright. Let's say you have Descendant or Cannonholder, a Recruiter, and Commandant offering. Let's just say that that's your opening hand. Now, obviously, I did pick these out, but this is actually a pretty common opening hand, or to get to it. Now, what you do is you set this, discard this, get a Necrovalley. Let's say you draw Stele. And set this, they kill it, get another Recruiter. Now what you do turn 2 is, okay, Dark Armed. Activate Ultimate Offering. Summon either Descendant or Cannonholder, depending on whether you want to wipe their field or inflict early damage before you OTK them with battle. Let's say you want to do damage, so Cannonholder is your choice. Summon him, summon Recruiter, because you pay 500. Now, these two, you'll be paying 500 for every 700 that you inflict. So it does work out in your favor. Now what you do is you tribute Recruiter, use Recruiter's effects until you ascend to the graveyard, get Recruiter to your hand. Tribute Recruiter, get Chief to your hand. Let's say you have that too. Summon him, tribute Commandant, summon Chief, get back Recruiter. Tribute Recruiter for another 700, get another Chief to your hand. Now, you have 3 Darks in the graveyard, so special summon Dark Armed, tribute Chief, summon Chief, get Recruiter, tribute Recruiter, get the 3rd Chief. Tribute Chief, summon Chief, get Recruiter, tribute Recruiter, to, let's say, get Spear Soldier. Summon Spear Soldier for aggro engine, activate Stele, get back the 2 Chiefs, do some more damage. Tribute Chief, summon Chief, get Recruiter, tribute Recruiter, get the 3rd Spear Soldier. Tribute Chief, summon Chief, get back Recruiter. You get the point. And even if now what you're saying is, well, you didn't do Descendant, Descendant's better. Well, guess what? Now you have a bunch of the Darks in the graveyard, so you can activate Dark Arm's effect a whole crap load of times. So, obviously, this is an original creation. I mean, I haven't really seen a bunch of Chief OTKs floating around at YCSs and regionals. It's a really fun deck, and it's really competitive. It's gone toe-to-toe with my 6 Samurai deck several times. And my 6 Samurai deck is the deck that runs 3 Shiens, 3 Kizons, Red and Blue, Gateway, Shien's Dojo. It's a pretty up-to-date deck, and this deck is actually very competitive despite what you guys may think. So, thumbs up the video if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. Really, critics aren't really welcome, because, I mean, this deck isn't mine, it's my friend Greg's, and he's going to do with it what he wants to. So, peace, YouTube.